All right. Shalom, shalom. It's the brother W. Y'all. Keeps the sheep. We're back with another lesson. Should be quick, but we want to begin by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. And shalom to the hopefully lit. Now, Lord willing, this video will be edifying. So with that, we're just gonna get it started, man. Now, you can see from the title of this video basically what we're getting into, right? But the point is, we in the time, especially like the time. This the time of the year. It's just a very evil, demonic time of the year, man. We've already had the Halloweens. We just finished the Turkey Day, Thanksgiving, whatever. Now we finna go into the this I guess I'd just say this Christmas holiday, pagan holiday. It's just a bunch of meaningless celebrations, man. Celebrations for nothing, Now, if people were diligent, and they did their homework, they did their work, then what they would do is they would do their research and realize that these things, stem off of none other than, wicked, just wicked, wicked acts, Now you got people who try to, you try to switch it up, be like, well, coming from like your Christian standpoint, they would say it's Jesus' birthday and all this and that, and that's why they celebrate it. But it's just, that ain't nothing but an excuse, And it's easy to see it's an excuse because you still got your Santa Clauses up in your house. You still putting up your Christmas trees and decking your house with lights, and you still taking part of putting stockings on in your house. You still taking part of the original holiday. It's not about, like, we all know what it's really about. You know what I'm saying? It's really never been about the birth of so-called who they ignorantly called Jesus. It's probably the last time I say that word, but that's we know that's not who it's really about. Because if it was, they wouldn't take part in all those things. They wouldn't be having the little Santa Claus and the reindeer and all that shit in their house. You know what I'm saying? They wouldn't be watching all these Christmas movies, and they wouldn't be doing it. They wouldn't be taking part of that, because that has nothing to do with the birth of the anointed. Same thing with, like, the Thanksgiving. That people try to go around, and talk about what they're thankful for and all this and that bullshit, man. At the end of the day, how did it, what's the origin of it? It started, well, we all know, from the genocide of the fellow brethren. You know what I'm saying? And the so-called Native Americans. Like, it matters. It matters how these things start. And if that's the case, like, why continue to celebrate such a thing, man? It's just simple. Jake is just simple, man. But even going back to the point, right? I got this scripture right here. I learned this scripture from the elder Menachezabah of GMS South Carolina. GMS South Carolina 08, right? This is Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. And that's what Jake tried to do nowadays. Eve. That's what they do. They it's the unclean thing, which is these holidays, and they try to flip it and say, well, we're gonna celebrate it for this reason and that reason, or we're gonna switch the meaning and do this and that. It's not how that works. It doesn't work that way. You try to bring a scripture like this to one of these Christians, right? And what they gonna say? Like, I've had one day talking about, they say some things like, God said, don't call unclean what I've called clean. Well, when did he call it clean? When did he change it and say, oh, yeah, these are clean things? You know what I'm saying? Like they love to talk about that, especially with the food. I don't know why food is such a huge stumbling block when there's countless. There's many other laws and statutes and commandments to pay attention to. But the food thing, the pork, the shrimp, the lobster, shellfish, all these that's such a big that's such a big stronghold, such a big stumbling block on Jay. Now, obviously, we know why, because it's the Most High's will. He casted these stumbling blocks, but it's still it's so simple, to the brethren. You know what I'm saying? To the men of the Lord who strive to do the Lord's will to the best of their ability. You know what I'm saying? But it's crazy. Like they try to use scriptures like that and say, once again, God said, "Don't call unclean what I call clean." When did He ever say a pig was clean? He never said that. When they try to go to that scripture, the whole the dream that Peter had with the honestly we could just go read it. It won't hurt. I can't remember if it says killing, eat, slaying, eat. I can't really remember. It should be right here though. Yeah, Acts 13, Acts 10. Let's read this account. Right. And this is about, Cornelius, who people ignorantly say was not an Israelite, which obviously he was, right? So let's see. So lucky, I don't know where I want to start. I didn't plan for this. We'll start at 10 and 5, right? It says, "And now send men to Joppa, who call for one Simon, whose surname is Peter. He lodgeth with one Simon, a tanner, whose house is by the seaside. He shall tell thee what thou oughtest to do. And when the angel which spake unto Cornelius was departed, he called 2 of his household servants, and a devout soldier of them that waited on him continually. And when he had declared all these things unto them, he sent them to Joppa. On the morrow, as they went on their journey and drew nigh to the city, Peter went up upon the housetop to pray about the 6th hour. And when he became very hungry, he would have eaten, but while they were made ready, he fell into a trance, and saw heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the 4 corners, and let down to the earth." Salakia, tripping over my words. Acts 10 and 12, it says, "Wherein were all manner of 4-footed beasts of the earth, and wild beasts, and creeping things, and fowls in the air. And there came a voice to him, Rise, Peter, kill and eat. But Peter said, Not so, Lord, for I have never eaten anything that is common or unclean." And there we go, that unclean. Even Peter's letting you know these are unclean things, right? "And the voice spake unto him again the second time, What the Most High have cleansed, that call not thou common. This was done thrice, and the vessel was received up again into heaven." Now, this is the part where they try to say, this is the Most High saying that pigs and shellfish and catfish and any abominable thing. This is where they try to say this is where he said is clean, right? But if we read Acts 10 and 17, it says, "Now while Peter doubted himself what this vision which he had seen should mean, behold, the men that were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate." Now, Peter was dying. Peter's confused. You know what I'm saying? It's clear. Peter doubted himself and what this vision which he had seen should mean. Peter's like, there's no way that he's telling me I can eat, some abominable food. That doesn't make sense. Why does it not make sense? Because they're unclean. They've been unclean in the Israelite culture, customs, heritage. They've been unclean for years, right? They've been unclean for years. So why now why now would the Most High be saying I should eat this thing, right? Peter died because it don't make sense, right? So keep going. 10 and 18 it says, and called and asked whether Simon, which was surnamed Peter, was lodged there. While Peter thought on the vision, the Spirit said unto him, behold, 3 men seek thee. Arise therefore and get thee down, and go with them, doubting nothing, for I have sent them. Right? Now, I could keep reading, but I feel like the point is made, right? The vision was not for the food, the unclean meat, like the literal, you know what I'm saying? That's not what it was for. The vision was because these men were coming, and he's saying, take them in. You can read the rest of the story, but I feel like the point is made, right? It wasn't talking about food. It was a different meaning there. Don't be so simple. But that was a bit of rambling. That was kind of off topic, but off topic. But the point is, you can't just change the meaning of things. If things aren't clean, if things are abominable, if things are evil or things are demonic, you can't try to take it and just try to flip it. And we're gonna take this, it meant this, now we're gonna make it. No, man. That's not how that works. Right? There's a couple other scriptures that Christians try to use. Like the one in John, I think it's like John 15, where he said, now ye are cleansed by the words I speak to you, right? But that's not talking. Those type things are not talking about food, abominable foods, abominable acts, abominable law, like breaking laws, about sins. It's not talking about he's cleansing these things so now you can do them. That's such a simple way to think, right? But back to the original point with these holidays, so like it for the rambling. But back to the original point with the holidays, right? Those are ways of heathen, man. Those are paganistic. Those are just pagan things. Those are the ways of this land, this nation. This wicked ass nation, Babylon. The daughter of Babylon the Great, spiritually Egypt, spiritually Sodom. Those are the ways of this land. So we'll read this one. This is Leviticus 20, and we'll start at 22. Who we're just talking to? Israel, right? It said, ye shall therefore keep all my statutes and all my judgments and do them, that the land, whither I bring you to dwell therein, spew you not out. And ye shall not walk in the manners of the nation which I cast out before you, for they committed all these things, and therefore I abhorred them. So, who are we a part of? We're amongst another nation, right? We know Esau, Edom, and really amongst a lot of other people too, right? Because we know what this land is. What they nicknamed it, the big melting pot. Where all things, they flee from religious persecution. They wanted religious freedom to do whatever they want to do. This is where everybody goes to live the life they want to live and do as much sin and iniquity as they possibly can think of. But he's basically saying, don't walk in their ways, man. Don't follow after them. You know what I'm saying? This is go to Jeremiah 10 and 1, right? This is Jeremiah 10 and 1. It says, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you. O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven. For the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, and Salakia, the work of the hands of the workmen with an axe. They deck it with silver and gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. Now, just I'm gonna let you just ponder on that. Those last two verses 3 and 4. I'm gonna let you ponder on that, and you try to think of what could what does that sound like? I'm gonna read it one more time. I'm just gonna let you ponder on that and think what does that sound like, right? So I'm gonna start at 3 again. I'm gonna read it 4. It says, "For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with an axe. They deck it with silver and gold, they fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not." I'm gonna let you ponder on that. I don't feel like I need to explain that. If you don't get things like that, man, it just might not be given to you to get it, right? But these are just wicked things, These are the ways of who? The wicked, right? Learn not the way of the heathen, man. We know heathens are wicked, man. It's in their nature to be wicked, Especially Esau, Edom, right? Speaking of wicked, this is Proverbs 15:9. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shah, man. But he that loveth him, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness, man. So don't go into the way of the wicked, man. Right? Follow after righteousness, man. Do the best you can, right? Now, of course, we're in the land of our captivity. We can't be perfect, but that don't mean you don't got. That don't mean just say F it to everything. Just don't try, right? That's not. You're not being diligent in this truth. You're not being circumspect. You're not looking forward. You're not looking ahead. You're not being a watchman. You're not thinking of the signs of the times to come. You treating it as if this life that we in right now gonna last forever, But there's a life after this, man. And what you do on this earth is gonna decide how that life ends. So follow after righteousness, man. You gotta make your calling to the election sure, right? You may know the names, you may, what I'm saying, this and that and the third. But as we can see, like the video that the elder did about that big old dude he turned Thanksgiving into Yahweh Day, right? Which goes back to that Job 14:4, right? But he turns into Yahweh Day. Now, just they say the names Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? They were saying the names, they prayed in those names. But look at their acts, man. He, the most high. You know what I'm saying? He sees he sees the acts that you committing, right? Like like Yahweh Shai said, man. That's just. I think it's Revelation 22 or 21. Revelations 22 and 12. Listen, it says, "And behold, I come quickly, and my reward is with me to give every man according as his work shall be," man. So everything that you do is how you're going to be judged, not just calling on the names of the Lord. Now, don't get me wrong. Please do not get me wrong. Baba Kushah. But, like I said, don't get me wrong. Okay, the names are, if you, like, when I always tell people who I've told about this, who they've came to me in sincerity and asked genuine questions, like before I let them go on their way, I always tell them, if you don't remember nothing I tell you, just remember the names. You know what I'm saying? But that's not all that comes with this, man. Just because you know the names don't make you holy, you know what I'm saying, in the Most High's eyes, man. It don't. That's it's just simple. It's just a simple mindset. But we'll read this. This is 2 Corinthians 6, and we'll just read 14, just because I like the scripture. It says, "Be ye not unequally yoked with unbelievers. For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness, and what communion hath light with darkness?" Which again relates to the point, you know, with that Job 14:4, man. You can't take an evil thing, right? Because if you know the origin of Christmas is very demonic, right? But you can't try to take this thing and say, well, now we celebrate it for I'm not gonna say it. We celebrate for Yahushua's birthday, which they don't know. They're not celebrating for Yahushua's birthday. They're celebrating for, that Cesare Borgia, that Lig Big man. You know what I'm saying? That white man. That's who they got in mind, right? But you can't just take unclean things and try to. It doesn't work that way, right? 2 Corinthians 6:15, it says, "In what concord hath the anointed with Belial? Or what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement has the temple of the Most High with idols? For ye are the temple of the living power. As the Most High hath said, I will dwell in them, and go and walk in them, and I will be their power, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing." And that's what we've been talking about. These unclean things, when you just can't show me where he started calling all these unclean things clean. Now, when we go to that scripture that I was talking about in John 15, right? Which, why not grab it right quick? John 15:1, it says, "I am the true vine, and my Father is the husbandman. Every branch in me that beareth not fruit, he taketh away, and every branch that beareth fruit, he purgeth it, that it may bring forth more fruit. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you," right? So this is the scripture I've been talking about. Now, this is not talking about unclean things. He's talking about, the men of the Lord, because every prophet, every man of the Lord in the truth right now, every man in the truth right now was unclean at some point, right? They were they weren't on the right path. We all were in iniquity, prior to coming into the truth, whether we knew it or not. We could, you could have even been in the church all your life, but guess what? You was praying to an idol at that time. You wasn't in the truth, But like he said, now John 15:3, now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you. This is not talking about any other things. You know what I'm saying? It's not talking about holidays or food or just any sins. It's not. I hope it's making sense. I feel like to the brethren it's making sense, but to you 2/3, may the Lord be with you, man. But just to read this verse again, 2 Corinthians 6:17, "Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you," man. All right, so this is I just got one more scripture I'm gonna read, and I'm gonna cut the video. I didn't want it to be long, right? And we'll just read these 8 verses because why not? Edification reasons, right? So this is Revelation 18:1. You can see the title, "Babylon Has Fallen," which we can't wait for. We can't wait for this place to go to dust. Lord willing, I'm a part of that number, man. We get beamed out, get beamed up with them with the chariots, man. Be a glorious day, you know. The scriptures say we shall be scarcely saved, but scarcely is better than nothing. You know what I mean? So, Lord willing, Lord willing, I'm a part of that number. But to get to the scripture, right? Revelation 18:1, it says, "And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having a great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. For all the nations have drunken the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Now, of course, like I even mentioned earlier, this place right here, this the daughter of Babylon, this is where all the nations come, and they all bring their baggage, their iniquities, their wickedness with them, and they just make this place worse and worse, right? But it's prophecy, right? It has to happen. But I mean, the Lord is tired of them. We can't wait to get out of this place. Verse 4, it says, "And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues." Man, so Israel we have to come out of her, man. You can't follow the ways of this place. Don't be partakers of this wicked, just the wicked shit that goes on a day-to-day basis. Otherwise you're going to be wrapped up in it with them. You're going to receive her plagues. Right? You 2/3 is going to receive her plagues, Verse 5, it says, "For her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her, double according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her, and she shall say, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen. Slakia. I sit a queen and am now no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Therefore shall her plagues come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burnt with fire. For strong is the Lord power who judgeth her." Now, point is, man, come out, Don't follow after these heathen, man. Come, be separate, as the scripture says, man. But that's it on that, man. We're gonna end this video, right? We're going to end it by giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor once again to the apostles and others of Great Millstone. And shalom to hopefully,